Avoid legal snags by telling you guys that I am recording you.
Did you call my lawyer?
Yes.
I will call Moxley right now.
You ever see the commercial, like the infomercial? I don't know if it's just down here. The lady's name's Ronnie Lynn Deutsch. Hi, I'm Ronnie Lynn
100%.
Deutsch.
Just by you.
The best lawyer commercial ever. I gotta
I
find
don't
it.
know.
I gotta find on
That's
YouTube.
300%.
Ronnie Lynn
Just you.
Deutsch. All right. Let's
All right, let's go.
All right. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hit the red button. 1.
Oh no, hold on.
Oh, well, it's you forgot
Wait.
how to hit the red button.
Oh no, I gotta restart Audacity.
Oh, the audacity!
Okay, hold on. Sorry.
I think I'm good. I think I had my 20-minute cry before the show. I think I'm cool now.
Aw, so soft.
I wish that Nikki Bella
Oh,
standee was
shit.
real and I could just hug her and just.
Yeah.
All right, let's try it again. Stop it. Okay, let's try it.
All right, red button. 1, 2, 3. And welcome everybody to the final episode of Rant with Ant. I have been your host, the King of Talk Style, Anthony DeStefano. And tonight we're going to celebrate the good times. We're going to celebrate Issa now being a fan of Jon Moxley. And we're going to celebrate the 4 years of this show because it is the 4-year anniversary. Now, before we get into the show, people are asking me if this is a mistake. Well, you can save on steaks by using the code Jericho. Omaha Steaks for your Father's Day gift. Again, omahasteaks.com with the code Jericho. Where are my co-hosts at? It is Phil and Issa. What's going on, guys?
Oh, hi.
Hola.
So first off, I listen to Wade Keller's podcast. It's
Oh.
4,000 ads, and none are about Omaha Steaks.
Why are you that thirsty for wrestling podcasts that you're listening to fucking Wade Keller?
Well,
Because equally as thirsty, I'm listening to Busted Open, and let me fucking tell you, Jesus Christ, dude, there's gonna be a big hole when we leave because
not leave. Because...
No, because so you know how like we started, I started Who Got Next because no one was covering NXT. So a couple days ago, you guys might have saw me tweet about it. Busted Open had some guy I never heard of and Tommy Dreamer, right? And they were the show was called because they like trimmed 2 hours down to 40 minutes in a podcast, right? So it's easy for me to listen because who the fuck has XM radio? Whatever, right? So
Sirius now? Is it on?
Sirius Radio, whatever. So it's a 40-minute podcast. I'm like, all right, cool. They're gonna talk about Takeover, right? This is pretty cool. They literally talked for half an hour about how Adam Cole and Gargano would do on the main roster. That's all they talked about. I'm like, did you even watch the show? Like, are you trying to cover it up? I'm like, man, what are we doing, man?
There's gonna be a big void. There's a big void in my life. Like this show's been everything I've like eat, breathe, shit this show for 4 years. And
only wrestling content I'm listening to is youtube.com/WWE Demon Diva.
Demon Diva reactions. I'll tell you what happened. You can listen to Joshy's interview if you want to know why I'm leaving and what.
It was a
great
very
interview.
It was the debut of Anthony Moxley spilling tea. Because I definitely felt you channeling him, and I liked it.
I was just pissed off. I was exhausted.
My favorite thing is Ant like being the, just being positive, and then Joshy's like, so what do you think about the wrestling community? And Ant's like, okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's fucking bury some people.
Yeah, well, that's kind of it was just it's just all bullshit. But you can listen to why I'm leaving. But I'll tell you what, we haven't done this show in 3 weeks, and the only thing I've missed is these two people I'm talking to.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, I haven't missed watching Raw because I haven't. I haven't missed watching SmackDown because I haven't.
Me either.
Literally, Twitter's a mess because it's AEW or WWE. You can't like both. So
not if you unfollow everybody, Dad.
Yeah, exactly. My personal account, which you can find at Go Fuck Yourself. You can't follow me because I get to control who follows me. But no, it's just I didn't miss anything. I just missed these two. But our group chat's always lit with Issa's newfound love for Jon Moxley.
I love it. And Jon Moxley shorts.
I like this guy. And it's funny because the reason why I love to hate Dean Ambrose was because I always knew, but you guys know I don't watch anything that he did before. But there's something in there, right? Like this guy, you can obviously tell he doesn't give a fuck, but he cannot show it. And seeing this side of him, it actually pisses me off because if we would have seen this guy all these years, would have probably been one of my favorites.
It's amazing. I got my favorite wrestler back. I tweeted that the other day. Literally, the guy that I watched in Force One CCW cutting those crazy promos was Jon Moxley. And
he had nothing to do, just sorry to interrupt you, but it had nothing to do with the podcast. I heard the podcast, and what I texted you was, I have new respect for him. I like the way that he articulated. He didn't sound entitled, none of that. It's the fact that he showed up at AEW, different look, different attitude. His first match, I watched it today, completely in-ring, different moves. Like, he's changed everything about, like, Dean Ambrose is literally dead. And I like that. Mm-hmm.
Well, he wanted Dean Ambrose to die. That was the best tweet I saw.
Listen, I need Dean Ambrose to die because I keep calling him Dean Ambrose, and it bothers me.
I just got used to calling him Ambrose. It took me 5 years.
I sent out a tweet that said, "Don't at me. I still fucking hate Dean Ambrose, and Dean Ambrose fucking hated Dean Ambrose. So don't come at me now."
All this shit, like one of my first episodes of Rant with Ant, where Carrie, who's like one of our best friends now, like fell in love with the show, is when I was talking about what they should do with Dean Ambrose and how the Moxley character was so like much better than what Ambrose was doing and stuff like that. And I'm like, holy shit, of course, like I end it and it's kind of ending where Rant with Ant started. That was my biggest show of that short time that I wasn't on a network or doing this, was that one show. It was like, it had like 1,000 views on me bitching about Dean Ambrose's character. And here I am now, I'm praising it because Moxley's back.
Listen, man. It's my first time also seeing him as Moxley too, because you know good damn well I'm not watching no fucking CZW.
I know, yeah. I mean, I'm
surprised. I mean, even though we all saw a fucking death match a couple weeks ago where Goldust almost fucking killed himself. Jeez. Did you hear his podcast with Jericho?
I got halfway through and I heard the Omaha Steaks for the Father's Day thing, and that I was like, "Where's Omaha Steaks?" He's literally talking about dog pooper scoopers or something, and then Omaha Steaks comes on, and I'm like, "Fuck yeah, Jericho didn't lose it." Speaking of steaks, Omaha Steaks.
Yeah, Goldust said in it that he actually cut himself way too deep. Like it was his fault.
Oh yeah, if this was the Wade Keller podcast, you'd have to listen.
I don't need a podcast or Omaha Steaks to figure that one out, right?
I'm just saying, I needed the fucking clarification.
We'll be back right after this message. Are you tired of listening to ads on your podcast? Well, then you need to subscribe to Wade Keller's Firing. Fuck out of here, bro.
Is that how it goes?
No, like literally, he's like middle conversation, like Moxley's answering something. He's like, "Yeah, you know, bro," and like if he pauses,
Moxley was on Wade Keller.
Yeah, that's why I listened. It was like a 3-hour interview.
No, it was like a 1-hour interview.
No, it was like a 30-minute interview.
But was it good though? Like, is it worth my time listening?
It was good because he actually tried to make it. He touched on things that Jericho didn't, so it wouldn't be a repetitive thing.
Okay, it's just Wade Keller. What's it called?
Oh, dude, get ready for the ads, bro. Oh my.
Bro,
you're going to be so aggravated. You won't make it through the whole thing. It's 2 parts too. It's 2 of them.
I had to pause it and like go listen to something else and then go back to it. It's like if
you know why I'll make it through, because there's this button on Apple Podcasts called 30 seconds in the future. So
no, but the problem is he literally cuts it. The commercial can only be 8 seconds sometimes. I mean, you missed the question. I'm telling you, I tried it. I fucking tried it. I tried it. Man, this feels good doing this show. We're not even talking about like wrestling this week. I didn't watch it.
You don't want to talk about the 24/7 title that's changing the world?
I want to talk about the Bray Wyatt's workout plan, because that shit was, because as soon as I was watching that, that's all I thought was Kanye's workout plan, and then literally like 2 hours later, Issa hits me with it.
Issa put it up.
Yes.
That's all I saw the entire time. Was like I literally played the song in my head, and I'm like, oh shit, this is amazing.
on Busted Open. I forgot. I think it was Mark Henry. Mark Henry said it. I think on yesterday's episode. Well, earlier in the week by the time this comes out. He was saying that if he was writing it, they would keep doing these vignettes for months, right? To the point where we're like, all right, fucking when are you gonna debut? Like, I'm fucking tired of it, you know? And then have somebody in the ring cutting a promo, and at some point in the promo be like, you got to do something. You just got to let it in. And then Bray Wyatt comes out because, like, he just wants you to let him in. I thought that was a pretty cool idea.
I think it was real cool. I like Bray Wyatt a lot. He's the only reason I watch Raw. Seth Rollins is one of my favorite wrestlers.
Well, he's the only reason you watch
what they're
YouTube
doing.
clips of Raw.
Yeah, I haven't watched Raw. I literally did.
I watched Raw.
I got out of the
Issa's
shower and I changed it at the 10 o'clock hour because I knew they wouldn't play Bray's stuff until 10 because some of it's freaky and creepy. So I was like,
did you see my reaction this week? Because I was like, fuck this. I'm done with this show. And then I realized that the Firefly hadn't played yet. And I'm like, fuck, I still got to watch this.
That's the only reason to watch. And then SmackDown, I don't even know. I can't tell you what's going on.
I didn't watch SmackDown.
I'm not. Blood
I
Money.
have Raw as background noise for the first half hour until Brock came out to cash in. And now I am always there for Brock murdering someone on live television. I just hated the whole, he's going to cash in. If he would have just came out and just fucked up Seth Rollins just because he can, I would have been all up for that. But the whole, he's going to cash in. No, he's not going to cash in. Like, my nails are amazing.
You want me to watch Raw? The Undertaker's on. You want me to watch SmackDown? Goldberg's on? I'm good, bro. Let me get my NBA 2K19 players ratings up. Come on, I'm in the post. Give me the ball, dog. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I was doing last night.
I changed the channel. As soon as the Bray Wyatt segment was over, I changed the channel.
I'm out here watching Netflix movies, bro.
Bro, you got NBA
Dad
2K
mode
for Xbox. You got to hop on.
No, I don't. I got rid of it.
You got rid of it? Oh, God.
Wait, did I get rid of it? I don't remember. I think I got rid of it.
We got to talk about that after because we need to run the courts, bro.
I'm pretty sure I got rid of it, though.
Heartbreaking. Listen.
I can get it back, bro.
Next week, fucking they talk about Gears 5. My life changes, guys. My life changes.
Bro, they showed Pokemon Sword and Shield gameplay today. Fucking fully erect at work, bro.
See, I wasn't a Pokemon guy. I'm more of like I want to change.
It's the first one on the Nintendo Switch, and it's open world, like legit open world. Not like you have to go no. Like, I guess technically they've always been open world, but you know what I mean, like real open world. And then I'm gonna get Gears 5 with you, so you can fucking drag me to victories. Duh.
This is where that's when I should start streaming. I don't know.
You're gonna get arrested. Fucking.
You know what? You know what?
Star's gonna knock on your door.
I'm gonna miss just being creative. I mentioned on Josh Lopez show that like I'm putting my energy of creating, but I'm putting it into be like an interior designer right now, which is horrible because everything I pick out, my wife's like, "That's what the fuck are you doing?" But I'm gardening. I'm doing a bunch of crazy shit where I'm just being creative in a different way. I replaced Raw and SmackDown with Property Brothers and Chip and Joanna Gaines. You know, like my life
is lit though, bro.
It is lit, and it gives you good ideas. But like that's what
they get to keep nothing.
yeah. We're gonna gift you this couch, and then everything else is fucking coming back, or you can buy it for the low price of $450,000. Speaking of low price, go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code Jericho. So what are you guys going to miss about this show? What we've done, everything, you know, Issa's almost been here for a year. Phil, you've been here for like 2.5 years. We've grown. We're a family. We're still hanging out. We're buying tickets to events. I'm not going to tell you where because I don't want you to come see me. I'm like going away. I'm like, don't bother me. Don't touch me. No, we're going to NEW together. So like we have a bunch of cool stuff that we're doing. But what are you guys going to miss, Phil?
I'm just gonna miss talking to you guys every week, right? I think the one thing that, like, I knew it was gonna happen because I know how busy we are, and that's one of the reasons, like you said on the Hoots podcast, while we're stopping. But it's like it's like, so as you get older, younger people who listen to this, your friends, we all work crazy jobs, right? I feel like as a society, we work more now than fucking people ever did, right? And when you have a podcast, anything creative, right, that it has to be every week, no matter what's going on, no matter what you're watching, it's almost like it's like you're forcing friends to be in the same room together, which it's awesome because like no matter what's going on in our lives, every Thursday night we were in the studio recording. So like before we started recording, like 15 minutes, we were just bullshitting. That's just what we did every week, and that's what I'm gonna miss the most is having to talk to you guys every week because no matter how tired, how sick, what the weather's like, the internet's like, we've all gone through those technical difficulties.
Oh God,
how Audacity's acting up. You know what I'm saying? We always found a way to make sure we were here Thursday night recording. And the show, we would talk way before we started recording and way after we started recording. That's what I'm going to miss the most.
I think we should start doing like I know weekly's hard, but I think we should start doing just like play dates on Skype, just us three every 2 weeks. We'll be
Yeah.
like, hey, it's Thursday at 9. You want to get on a Skype call and talk about absolutely nothing?
Listen, we have the vehicle to do that. It's
I know.
called Fortnite. Like that's what Fortnite is
Yes.
there for.
And I have
Yeah.
Xbox now, so
It
I'm
doesn't
actually-
matter. It's
I know.
we
But I
can
can
play
get on
in
it.
because it's cross-platform.
I-
I can
I-
play on my phone while I'm fucking
Yeah.
across the street. Like
Listen, I'm down. Let's do it. Let's start playing Fortnite. Like I'm gaming, bro. Like like I said, I'm grinding on NBA right now. I'm trying to get on the court and catch up to all these dudes. That's all I've been doing. I've been playing video games. I've been working, and I'm working on an addition on my house, and that's about it. Issa, what are you gonna miss about just everything in general? The show.
Yeah, definitely talking to you guys. I actually look forward to it. It was like my me time, like don't bother me. I'm gonna be in the room talking to my boys, which doesn't disturb my fiance at all. So it's a weird thing, right? Like you guys are telling your significant others, I'm gonna go talk to Isa
Your
for 2
fiance.
hours now. Yeah,
for your
Brittany's my fiance
Brittany
now.
doesn't care.
All I heard this week was, "I love Issa. I'm like, well, good. She's coming down for the fucking baby shower."
And I think I'm just going to miss normal wrestling talks with people that have different opinions, and it goes beyond the friendship. I love that we can talk wrestling being completely different and not attack each other or stop talking to each other because we don't feel the same way about certain people. You can't have those conversations anymore, and yeah, I'll miss that.
Yeah, the thing I'm going to miss about the show, besides what you guys covered, obviously I said the talking to you guys is literally my favorite part of the week. Like, talking wrestling wasn't my favorite part. Going through the stress of making T-shirts, promoting a brand, doing all this shit, that wasn't fun to me. But it was always us three that kept me out of like depression or anxiety or something stupid, some inner demons battling because you're stressed because of work or you're stressed because of life. Whenever I got out here, it was just us, and that's all that mattered was what we were talking about, even if it was wrestling or even if it was me being like, it was the only thing that I could go from literally, almost breaking down and crying before I got on air to coming on air and recording with you guys where I'm just like doing Aunt Margaret voices or stupid shit where I just let it all out.
It's funny because all three of us have jumped on this call with a long face because we literally just finished some kind of weird thing with work, some arguments, something, and in 5 minutes we will be like it never happened because we just started talking, and I'll miss that.
Yeah, it sucks. And I say my favorite thing, and we're gonna get into like our favorite accomplishments, we're gonna get into our favorite moments, but my favorite thing is the voice that we held in a community. And, I love our community. I love our listeners. The people we've interacted have been nothing but great, and I'm going to miss them. You heard them at the beginning of the show. Like, that's what set me off. I was crying for like 30 minutes before I got on air. But what I'm going to miss is like how we use that voice, because it's one thing to have a backing. It's one thing to have a community, but it's another thing that we raised $1,200 for Santa Claus, and I went shopping and we made kids Christmases, or we raised over $1,000 for cancer. And we, it's something we've all dealt with, and we used our voice and our following in a positive way. Now, can we still do that? Yes. But, it was because of this show. Not only did I, find my best friends and you guys, and then G-Rod and MJ and Nick and Cody, and my whole group of friends, you know what I mean? Everyone is associated with wrestling, Brother Rob. And it's like, I love that. But what I'm going to miss is like, I could actually make a difference. I wasn't yelling into an abyss trying to make a difference.
Yeah.
The proof's in the pudding. We made a difference in people's lives. And that's what I'm going to miss the most about the whole Rant with Ant experience, because I think we did it a little bit different than other people did. We weren't in it for ourselves. We were in it for others.
Well, we were, if we think about it, when we were at All In and we were part of StarCast, and Matt Stryker was talking to us, and he asked you, he was like, what makes your podcast different than everybody else who's here? And you said the one thing that me and you have been saying about this podcast for years, and you said before I even signed on, is we're a wrestling podcast by the fans, for the fans. Like, we are fans. We never wanted to be backstage people. We never wanted to be like the breaking news, the dirt sheet type of podcast. We were just, we turned on wrestling. We watched it. This is what we thought as fans. That was it. And I'm proud that even to our last day, we always remain that. Even with all of our accomplishments last year, we never let it get to us, right? We always stayed grounded. And I'm proud that, for people who don't know, 99% of the time, our shows are just freestyled. Like, me, Ant, and G-Rod were at StarCast.
Yep,
and on stage.
In front of
we had
live
no
people.
Yeah, in front of live people, right? We had no rundown. And Ant looked at me and G-Rod and said, "You want to talk about All In? Like, you want to run down every match?" And we were like, "Okay." And we just talked about it for over an hour. And we could have kept going.
We did that at the gala. Our biggest night. And we didn't have a plan. We just
had nothing.
And
it was the four of us with MJ. And we just... And think about seeing, like, for Ant, right? Seeing my growth from when I first started to seeing how I am. Me seeing Nick's growth, seeing MJ's growth, right? Issa is Issa. She's always been great, right? She's always been greatness, right? But, like, seeing Issa grow and seeing Issa be
She watched New Japan. She started watching she watched
Issa All In.
That's growth.
Issa watched New Japan.
She's 25% Moxley stan right now.
Yeah, exactly, right? She's, it's crazy to see that growth, right? That's just such a cool thing to kind of look back and look on. And listen, our YouTube videos are still up there. They're not going anywhere. No, you want to see me embarrass myself and be awkward interviewing Santana Garrett? Go on there. Because I can't get through it, but you can get through it.
So now I can say it, because fuck it, right? Because it's over. When you're interviewing her and she goes, "Oh, I'm so happy to be your first," in my head, I'm like, yo, Phil's got a boner right fucking now, because he's been waiting for her to say that the whole time.
You know what's funny? We had that conversation before we started recording it. She said the same thing, and then she was like, "Don't worry about it. Say it again, and I'm going to say it the exact same way." And I'm just looking at Cody like, what is life right now, bro?
Yeah. I StarCast week, it was real fun. I just think we all had our reasons for ending it, and you can listen to mine. You can listen to me bitch for an hour and a half. I got great feedback on that, by the way, so thank you. I wasn't trying to be bitter or negative. I was just trying to let the emotions out, because there's a side of podcasting and content creating that people don't see.
Mm-hmm.
There's the sleepless nights. There's, my God, like I said, Patreon was beautiful, but Patreon was also the devil, because it's like, then that takes it from the hobby to the business. And then when the business is plateaued, Issa, when a business plateaus and the numbers aren't going up, you think you're a failure. And I never thought we were a failure. I just thought after a while, it's like, we've gone as far as we can go with this. Who knows? Maybe something else happens, and in a year we go, let's get the band back together, and we're not doing a Patreon, and we're just doing it for fucking fun. Who knows?
Well, the thing with Patreon that's super difficult, right, for wrestling podcasts it's really hard to do more content about wrestling, because your main show is already talking about all the content, right? So it was really hard for us to figure out, what can we give people that we're not already giving them? And then even then, like when we say we recorded Thursdays, that was like our only free time. That's why we did it, right? And like, I had Who Got Next, Issa has her YouTube stuff, like Ant is fucking rebuilding all of Jersey and working 8,000 hours a week. So like, it's really Patreon, it's a great way to see how your business is growing, especially when you're doing a podcast, right? Listens are listens, but having fans interact with you, or listeners interact with you and say what they want and say all this stuff, that's why Patreon is great. And if you're a podcast listening to this, like, start a Patreon right now. Doesn't matter if you have one Patreon, if you have no Patreons, have a place where somebody, if they like your show, they can support you financially, right? And you can use that money like we did to go to these shows, to have better content and stuff like that. But be warned, it is very hard when you're only covering wrestling to give people more, because you're already doing so much.
And that's what it is. Like, maybe if it was more of a general topic show, it wouldn't have been a problem. You know what I mean? It would, like you say, like, I don't watch it, but I know enough about it. The Kind of Funny guys, just they nail it, because there's so many different characters. When there's only 3 people on a show, and
that's their job.
Yeah,
like
it became their job. Yeah,
no, but like, they literally they own a company, and all they do all day long, 5, sometimes 7 days a week, is watch stuff and then talk about it. That's all they do. And like, we have like actual jobs. Like, and Issa together probably work like 8,000 hours a week, right? So it's like, especially Issa, probably on her own, works 7,000.
She's working right now. She's emailing people.
So it's like, with it's very hard. Like, I don't know about you guys, but having that like weight lifted off my shoulders that like I don't have to watch a 3-hour Raw, or I don't have to watch 2 hour SmackDown, or even I don't have to watch NXT UK. I know you guys didn't weekly, but like that's a lot of stuff to be like, if Brittany's like, I want to do this on Monday, it's like, whoa, like I got to be home at 8, or at least know what's going on with Raw. I need to like, it's so great that like last night we went out to eat, and last night was Tuesday for us because we're recording this Wednesday night, and it's like, that's awesome that like we can go out, run errands, we can go out to eat this night, and like that's pretty cool that we don't have to watch it.
Yeah, and it was never about money for me for Patreon.
Never.
And I just really wanted to succeed. I really wanted to be different, and I think we did a good job at that. But when I'm putting, and Phil and Issa will tell you this, like literally, I'm texting them at like 12. Here's an idea. I put at least 40 hours a week into that when I'm already working on my career, and that's 40 hours away from my family. That's 40 hours away from making more money. With this free time, I went because my job, I'm going to be only working 52 hours a week instead of like 78. And I picked up a second job serving tables 2 nights a week so my wife doesn't have to rush back to work after the baby comes. And we can, I'm, going to make the more money than I've ever had. I had a goal to reach by the time I'm 35, and I'm going to reach it this year financially. And that's because have this free time now, and I had this free time to pick up a second job and make an extra 15 to 20K this summer. And that's big money for someone who's going to have a lot of expenses. And with that 40 hours that I'm not doing the show in the winter, I get to watch my kids grow. I think about how much stuff I missed, and I don't regret the show. It's just you miss so much. And my daughter's already turning 5, and it went by like that. And that's 4 years of this. She's 4.5. So you got to think how long I've been doing this. And it's like, what did I miss? She's only 4 once. She's only 3 once. And you miss stuff. And especially when you're so fucking addicted to working on what I want it to be my career. And like I said on the Hoots podcast, that was the problem. Is once I said this needs to be my career, it needed to be my career or it needed to go away because it would have killed me.
Yeah, but you know what? Just to put a complete different input. You know why I join and why I do what I do? It's because wrestling is my escape. I have a job where I work like fucking 90 hours a week. So wrestling was supposed to be my escape from reality and my hobby and my fun thing to do. So as somebody that never saw podcasting or creating content as what I wanted to ultimately do, wrestling became a task. And it's not because of Rant with It. It's not because of YouTube. It's because I do not enjoy the shows. Yeah, there's nothing to react to. I could sit there with a camera in front of me, and the whole time I just either there's a couple of times that I even tweeted it. I literally fall asleep in front of the camera recording. So in a complete different aspect, as a fan that just wants wrestling to be an escape, I find myself escaping when there's a pay-per-view. I will tell you, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Money in the Bank, NXT this weekend, all great. But this Monday, Tuesday programming is just something that I don't want to commit to anymore.
It's hard so the greatest thing about wrestling, which I have been reminding myself, watching Double or Nothing, watching TakeOver 25, watching the clips that I'll watch from Raw and SmackDown or whatever. It's so much better, especially right now, to just be a fan. Just be a fan, watch what you watch, don't watch what you don't want to watch, and just enjoy it, right? And I think that's where I forgot that because you put so much pressure on yourself, especially with like the NXT brand, that like I got to know everything. Even if I don't like this wrestler, I got to watch it because we got to talk about it. We have to cover it. And it's so much better for us, for me, on an emotional level where like, oh, I'm not liking what they're doing on Raw, so I'm just not going to watch it. And I'm not going to go on Twitter and I'm not going to be angry and I'm not going to argue with this or that person. I'm just not going to watch it. And I'll talk to you guys about what I want to talk to you guys about, like when it comes to wrestling. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just so much easier and it's so much weight lifted off our shoulders.
Yeah, but once again, even as a fan, they're not giving us what we should be getting for the time that we invest, the money that we invest. I mean, we're talking about we attend any event that we can attend live. We buy the merch. Well, lately they've been making shit merchandise, but you know what I mean. So even when you look at it from a fan standpoint, if you're disappointed, you shouldn't be giving it the time or the money or the effort.
You know what?
They're not giving us effort.
My favorite thing is I don't have to watch and try to pick apart everything and say I liked this part of the show. I didn't like this. I can simply shut it the fuck off and just, I can't tell you like my love for sports and my love for like video games is back stronger than ever because I don't
Yeah.
have this task. I've watched more Phillies games this year
I
than
know.
I had in 4 years. I've
You know,
watched.
it's actually like really funny that you say that because I was finding myself, and I didn't realize I was doing this until now that I don't watch like I used to. But I'm finding myself doing all my stupid shit on the weekends because I have to be here Monday, Tuesday, right? Monday, Tuesday could be a day that I can actually leave work early enough. And I found myself yesterday getting my nails done, something that I would do on the Saturday, my one and only day off. I'm spending it 3 hours over here so that I can be home. And I just feel like I have extra time. Sometimes I'm like, wait a minute, I actually have extra. I can go to bed early. You know what I mean? I'm getting sleep. It's amazing.
Wait, you do
Okay.
not sleep.
You
That's
were
a lie.
watching Moxie.
Biggest, biggest
I've been
lie on
sleeping
this show.
4 hours a night.
Which for Issa, 4 hours might as well be like 3 days because she's a robot and does not sleep.
Yeah.
So next question is, what is your favorite moment of Rant with Dan? What was your favorite thing about what we did, Phil? Issa, what was your favorite thing? What's the best moments for you? What moments stick out?
So of course, you said it earlier, raising all the money, but like that's the easy one. Okay, that's too easy. For me, the proudest I've been of us was Starcast weekend, right? And I think that we didn't know what that was going to be. It's the first time it's ever been done, and a lot of people, including us, it was a shit show how it was put together, and we came out of it positive, right? We got our own interviews. I did my first interview, and you did your first like face-to-face interviews, really, right? Like kind of fucking just thrown randomly in there on a cell phone. And like they were all good, they were all great. And me and you drove there like madmen and then drove back the same night because we're psychopaths. And it's like that weekend was all about like, can we do this? Like, can we really do this? And I feel like at every opportunity that we could have just been like, it's not working for us. So we could have just kind of like, whatever, we'll just hang out the rest of the weekend. Like we kind of stepped up and really pushed forward. And I guess take that, like our survival mode is a show, right?
Yeah.
G-Rod left to do other things and stuff like that because he lost the passion. And we brought Issa in and the show was better than ever, right? And I think that our survival mode, every time we got knocked down, we got up 10 times stronger, which is my proudest part of what this show was.
I've been thinking about that, and I have like two favorite moments for two different reasons. I feel like as content creators and what we're trying to do, the gala will always stand out, and I will remember it for a long time as a really, really fun thing that we got to do together. But the friendship and this thing that we built, the three of us, I go back to Evolution. I had so much fun, just the three of us finally sitting at a show together and just having fun, screaming like maniacs. So, in the creator aspect of it, the gala, I'm very proud of that and everything that you put together. The friendship side of it, I just know that when we sat together at Evolution, I was like, yeah, these guys are stuck with me and I'm stuck with them because I just love them. And it was so much fun.
Exactly. And that's true. That's the best part of it. Moment wise for me, man, there's so many good moments. I mean, it's like this 4-year run has been fucking insane. We've done tailgates. We've done fucking.
How about the moment
gala?
Where you met Issa for the first time, but you were so drunk you forgot about it?
Oh, I drank all the fucking rum in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Yeah. And you were like, Issa, I didn't get to meet you. And she was like, we hung out. You were just blacked out.
I was blacked out drunk. Brooklyn always got me. Brooklyn is my kryptonite. I love that fucking city. It's shit, but I love it. Allison, the bartender, great bartender. Never forget her. That's one of the best memories.
Remember when all three of us drank in Brooklyn last year? I even had a drink with you guys.
Remember when my tab was $4.62,
and you were fucking sweating alcohol?
Yeah, best bartender ever. No, but like those moments, like that's the moments that I'll never forget. Is we get all these people that we love in one room, and it's just good vibes and good times, and that's what fucking wrestling is supposed to be about, and that's what I want to get back to, and that's why this show going away feels great because. I don't want to be Rant with Ant. I just want to be Anthony DeStefano, and I want you to come up to me, and I want you to have drinks, and I want to be an asshole, and I want to it never stopped me in the first place, but I want to be loud, obnoxious, and I just want to be a fan and have all these fans around me and just live in our own world.
And just have fun, right? Yep.
I don't have to worry about an image. I don't have to worry about...
We can still do. Hey, guess what? We're going to attend this event. We'll be right here. Come hang out.
Yeah,
and
we don't
like,
have to have a podcast for that.
yeah, we
right?
don't have to. It doesn't have to have some type of business attached to it, right? I think that another proud thing that I still can't believe that we accomplished. Like the reason why a lot of the people that we know each other are through us, and it's crazy. Like I met Ant through this situation, which got me G-Rod and Issa and Nick and MJ and Rob and Wade and Cody and
it's
everybody,
literally like
right?
50 names. You can't even name
And we
them
can
all.
keep
That's
going,
crazy.
right? And the thing
That's
is,
why
like,
I love the gala. I feel like we had all of our just the people that support the show and support us there, but we had our significant others, family members. You're bringing your personal invites. I'm bringing people from the outside to be there. It was just like a reunion of all of our worlds together in one,
and
and then
it's
you
like
realize
people in
everything
that
that you
group.
gain.
Yeah, people in that group still talk. They still hang out. They still go to shows together, right? And it's really cool. And helping out the next generation of shows, the Kings of the Rings and the Gifted Podcast, the Fourth Wall, Not Your Mama's Soap Opera, like helping these guys and girl now, because on Kings of the Ring, get their start, like get kind of like we used a little bit of the platform that we had to help them out too, and now they'll continue our legacy and continue doing what we're doing, and it's the whole reason for any of this podcast stuff is making the community better. The community is unbelievably toxic. We all know that, but let's make
Fucking
it better.
sucks. I
Have
hate
your
half
little
that.
squad, have your little group, talk to them, and then bring in good people as you go here and there. And then we're still going to be doing that because we're still wrestling fans. Even though, yeah, the main roster product on WWE sucks right now, but it's like, hey, we're still keeping tabs on it.
If anything, I'm just practicing what I preach. For years, I said, if you don't like it, shut it off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
well, I don't like it enough that I'm shutting everything the fuck off.
That is true.
I'm shutting
And
it
I
off.
said that as well. If it ever becomes a task, it's not for me because it's
and-
supposed to be my hobby, not a task.
This show, our show, never like when I said this on Joshy's, and I'll reiterate it. When I came out here on Thursday, this was the only part of the Rant with Ant brand that I still loved. I didn't love all the stuff I had to do. I didn't love, trying to market. I didn't love watching numbers anymore. It actually became exhausting. This was the part, like, this is what I'm the most proud of, is that we have such a relationship that this show is going away. But you guys are still coming to the baby shower. Mm-hmm. We're still going to wrestling shows together. Like, I got into this 4 years ago because I had no one to talk pro wrestling with. Literally nobody. And now I have my best friends, you guys. I'm going to an autograph signing with Rob and Scott as this show airs. My dad got to see me perform live. My dad got to see me have this passion for something. And is the passion for creating gone? No, the passion's always going to be there because I'm a creator. That's what I love to do. But the passion for this particular, project, I guess you can call it, is gone. The passion for WWE is gone. And I can tell you right now, if it's not WWE or NXT, nobody's really listening anymore. That we tried to talk Japan on the show. We tried to talk Impact. And all anyone ever wanted to talk about was WWE. Because it does. And maybe now it'll be different with AEW. But I'm getting out of this at the right time because I don't even want to be a part of that.
Me and Ant definitely. I remember sending Ant that text. I think it was Sunday. And I was like, man, from what I hear, right? Because I made a new Twitter to start fresh. And I don't see all the negativity, right? Because I only see what the people that I follow are tweeting about, right? And they're pretty good and with stuff like that. But like talking to them, what's on their timeline with the whole AEW WWE thing, it's been a fucking war zone out there. So like we really are getting out at the right time because now we can just sit back and enjoy what we want to enjoy.
There's more to life than pro wrestling, and I always
there's
said
more
that.
to life than complaining about pro wrestling.
It was an escape. It's talking's an escape. Doing this is escape. It's therapeutic. Like I said, I think my biggest problem is when I say, all right, it's a brand. It's this is what I want to do for my career. Phil and I said this is what we want to do, and I think as soon as we made that decision, we felt all the pressure come down on us instead of just being like, yeah, let's just fucking do this. And we don't have to market. You don't have to make logos. You don't have to make t-shirts. You can just fucking chill. Do this as a hobby. And I did that with Wrestle Addict. And I did that with Rant with Ant early on. And that's when it was at the top of its game. Not content-wise. We're leaving at the top of our game. I think we could even go higher with the content because I think we're that fucking good. And I'm not going to push, beat my own horn, but fucking honk honk. I think I'm one of the fucking best hosts. I think Phil's one of the best hosts.
Dad
I think
jokes.
Issa's one of the best hosts. I fucking think that we have the best team, and I think we're going out on top. I don't want to fucking stick around and be Michael Jordan on the Wizards. I want to go out on top of my game. I want to go out with some dignity, with some pride, knowing that I am the one who ended it. No one else ended Rant with Ant. Anthony DeStefano ended Rant with Ant. That's what I wanted to do. I think we reached a level of success that I never thought. We won awards in the fucking United Kingdom. You know what I mean? We did galas where we had 50 people there. I almost fist fought a pizza guy because I couldn't get my order right. Like, you know, I reached levels to this, and we've all reached levels to this. We were on Podcast Row. You know, our names are known. People recognize our logo. Matt Riddle wears our fucking logo to the ring. You know what I mean? Like, there were so many cool things that happened that, you know, could we have taken it further? Yes. But at what cost could we have taken it further?
There's just a lot. Like you said, maybe one day we bring it back. But, like, right now, you know, two of us are getting
come
married.
back for some Saudi money.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Give me,
Oh,
yeah,
that's totally
Patreon.
what
You
it
get
is.
me 100 Patreons right now. I'm just kidding.
We'll put out fucking Shawn Michaels and come back for that Saudi
Yeah,
patient.
exactly.
I'm
But like
bald
two
and
of us are
cross-eyed,
getting married, Ant's having another kid. Like, it's just this craziness of what 2020 is gonna be. Like, there's no, if it's better to leave right now than it is to know that next year there's no fucking way we would have been able to do this
And there's
at
just
this high of a
something
level.
awesome about knowing that we'll still attend shows together, that
Yeah.
we'll be there for baby showers, for weddings, for babies being born. That's what's important in life, man. It's not wrestling. I hate
And
to
this-
break
this
it down
is-
to some people, but there's a lot more to life than
Yeah,
wrestling.
this is what happens, though. And I don't think it would happen with us, but I've seen it happen with friends. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, I'm never talking to you guys after
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
record. I
fuck
hope
out
you
of my
know
life,
that.
Lisa.
I'm just saying that for the show.
I think you're bougie shit. So there, you know, certain friends and certain people, like, if one of us wanted to keep going with it, and then he felt the other ones were slacking off, and every show faces this, or someone had a different passion or something. I never wanted the show to make me envy friends or be mad that, oh my God, you know, you missed recording. We need you. Like, and we never were like that. But if it got bigger and then people miss shows and then it affects you like that I feel like that happens. I feel like that could have been a thing too, where, you know, God forbid I ever missed a show. You know what I mean? I've never missed a fucking show. God forbid I did. And then Phil's like, fuck this. This isn't my show. I don't want to host this shit. Like, you just never know. I don't think that would happen.
Rant without Ant, bro. That was the best weekend.
Oh, it was the best week
When
of
the
my
fucking
life.
inmates ran the asylum,
Oh,
that
it
shit
was-
was amazing. That
was-
Patreon chat was off the chain.
I know. It was more like the Ambrose Asylum, and then when I got back, it actually was good again. But but I just didn't want it to become like, it becomes this big thing, and it's like Issa's missing recordings, and then she feels like shit, and then we're kind of like, fuck, Issa's not here, and then we come on the show and we're like, fuck, like this is not fun, you know?
God forbid I talk to Ant. I don't like him.
Yeah, and it's just stupid shit. So I felt like maybe that could happen. I just started picturing all like the bad things that could happen if it kept going. Like,
It's just that
My
gala
kid hates
took
me
fucking
because-
everything out of you.
what?
So I really hope people look at those gala pictures and know that we had to like prop Ant up like a fucking doll because he was on the verge of collapse. Like,
the whole
so you
weekend
guys-
was weekend at Bernie's.
yeah, exactly.
I
As
put
great
it,
as the gala was, man.
I put it all out there, and I kind of knew, and like I said this on the show, like I kind of knew like that was the last hurrah for me. But that gala either represented two things. It represented like, oh my God, Rant with Ant's gonna fucking blow this fucking place off, and we're gonna go nuts, and we're gonna grow. Or it was like, okay, final fucking curtain call. That's that chapter, and they'll tell you. As the closer we got to the gala, the more I was like, yeah, this fucking sucks. I don't want to fucking do this. I'm fucking exhausted.
Just tough, man. The amount of time that this this stuff takes out of you, right?
Yeah.
We let it get away from us. Like you said, we wanted it to be bigger, and then we couldn't control it once it got to the point where it was like suffocating us, really.
It couldn't be our fucking job. That was the problem. We weren't, we made a little bit of money and we put it all back in the brand. I had tons of equipment and stuff like that I put back into the brand. But like, we couldn't control it because we had to control our real life. Like, if it was a career, if we were all just like, hey, listen, take 1 year, we'll pay your salary, everything's paid, and put it all on Rant with Ant, I guarantee us three with our work ethic, this thing would be the biggest fucking wrestling show in the world.
Well, we'd own Manhattan because we have Issa.
Well, Issa would literally build the studio in like right next to the Freedom Tower. It would just be a giant.
Don't ever fucking call it that again.
One World Trade Center.
Thank you.
Freedom Tower.
Hashtag triggered.
Hashtag America. But I think, real life comes into play. We all have real relationships. You think my wife wanted me out here every single Thursday. She'd be like, hey, you want to do this Thursday? I'm like, no, I'm fucking recording. Go fuck yourself. Go to the movies by yourself. Like,
what the fuck, man?
You think like that one?
That's not a threat, bro. Movies by yourself is fucking lit.
Yo, it is.
I go by myself right now.
You know what else is lit? Your grill. After you buy your dad the best Father's Day gift with Omaha steaks, using the code Jericho.
God, I hate the way Jericho goes into his transition.
Dude, it's so great. He's like, I want to hear more about that. I know the road was tough, but the road isn't tough with Firestone tires. Jesus Christ.
No, the worst one, and this is the worst one that
flowers one?
No. That he does a lot, but I'm now starting to hear it on even the other podcasts that I listen to that talk about like nerd stuff. Is they'll be like, yeah, something, but you need to wear your seatbelt when you're going over railroad tracks. I'm like, wait, it's like the New York safety and some. I'm like, that's a thing. Like they're promoting on podcasts. Like you know what? I wasn't gonna stop at a railroad track, but I was listening to Chris Jericho's podcast, and he told me to stop at a railroad track. To not stop, so I'm not gonna stop.
I love how Chris Jericho changes words. Like he just says them weird. I always love that.
And every week is his anniversary, and he just bought his wife flowers from 1-800-Flowers.
Yeah.
Every week, like he fucks up a lot because he's always fucking ordering flowers.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you had Jericho's fucking living it up, making more money than he ever has in his life.
Yeah, he's out here killing it.
All right. Well, I don't have any more questions. So like this is flat. Yeah. I mean, what else can we talk about? Oh, we told you why we're leaving. We told you what we're gonna miss. We told you our favorite moments. I guess we can talk about what's next. What's next for me is I'm gonna be a dad again. I'm gonna work my ass off. I have a 5-year plan to pay off all my debts and try to pay off my house by the time I'm 42. So that's more of a 10-year plan on the house, but I have goals. I have things to focus on. It's hard because I think the hardest part of growing up and being old is that you feel disconnected from people because your life is so consumed by work. Now, I could go a day without talking to anyone as long as I have my wife and kid. They're the only two that like I need to talk to. But you love having that outside relationship. Like I love talking to Phil. I love talking to Issa. I think the hardest part of this show and what's next for me is that I don't have, like Phil said, we don't have to talk. I mean, we will, but it's like having that designated talk time was so nice. Right. I think it's healthy for people to have it. I think sometimes we're so consumed with life that we don't get it. But that's what I'm going to miss. And what's next for me, obviously, is just being the best father I can be, being the best husband I can be, grinding my ass off. I know you hate the grind lifestyle, but that's what I call it, grinding, Phil. I just wish people would buy one ticket to the grind lifestyle if they've already grinded their whole life, because if you buy two, you're taking away from someone who wants to have the grind lifestyle.
Good times, bro. Good times, man.
Just
that's gonna pop Rob.
Yeah, it's gonna pop Rob so bad. But honestly, I just want to be me again, which sounds weird, but I want to be me again. I want to not have to put pressure on myself about shit that I shouldn't have to. Rant with Ant's great. I have a lot of friends. Rant with Ant's not dead. The show's dead. You know what I mean? Like the brand's still alive. We're all here. We're all partying. We're all going to tailgates and shit like that. And, WrestleAct Radio's taking over the Rant with Ant feed. They're taking over the Rant with Ant Twitter. So like you said, we're going out on our back. We're putting people over on the way out here. We've built this, have a small piece of this, and build it further. And it's like, this is my Tony Stark moment. This is my, let me do this for other people on my way
Does that
out.
make me Pepper?
You're just like Captain America because you're just getting old as fuck, bro.
Hell yeah, bro.
Just old as
Best thing
shit.
you ever fucking said
Old
to
as
me.
fucking
I'm down.
shit, bro. So what's next for you, Issa? I know you're building Manhattan from the ground up.
It's a lot of work creating an entire company. So it's just a lot of work, which is what kind of disconnected me from all of this to begin with. Yeah, work, planning a wedding, or paying somebody to plan it for me. I haven't figured that part out yet, but
Gotcha.
supposedly.
Nice.
All I want to do is just show up and tell me where do I sign or whatever you have to do to be married, because I don't know.
I will tell people though, like Issa has this vision, and if the passion does come back for WWE, Issa has this vision for her YouTube channel that I think is going to be next level, like totally
Wish I had
different.
time for it.
Yeah, like so if WWE gets good again, just watch Demon fucking on YouTube because it's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, that's going to continue. When I'm watching pay-per-views, I might pull up the camera. The reactions are not as often as I used to post them, but I'm still posting reactions.
Here's a
so that will still
spoiler.
be there.
Some of them, me and Phil might just be there at the pay-per-view, the viewing party. We just got to plan it in advance. Issa
Yeah.
texts us Saturday like, "Hey, so you guys want to come up?" Or was it Friday?
No,
I'm like, fuck, I
my
wanna
favorite
go,
recent Issa thing was Saturday during Takeover 25. I'm at work, right? And I don't know, it was like 2, and she's like, "Hey, meet me in Connecticut. Let's go watch Takeover." I was like, I didn't get home until like 7:30, and the show
that I
started
didn't
at
even
7.
watch it live, and it just hit me the impact that we have on people because again, it's kind of nice to not have to be watching these things, right? Dave was like, "Hey, you haven't been home in forever. Let me take you out on a date," and I'm like, "Holy shit, date night! I forgot what that feels like."
Yeah.
So we make reservation for 7:30, and I post like a picture like date night, and somebody on my comments are like, "You're not watching NXT," and I'm like, "Oh my god, no! I have a relationship that I would like to keep." So
Yeah, exactly.
about a date night, Takeover is going to be in the network for me to watch it anytime that I feel like.
$9.99. And you can buy your wife a rose $9.99 at 1-800-Flowers using the code Y2J.
I also asked you guys to come up in the summer so we can use my pool and grill. And you know what we're going to be grilling? Omaha Steak. Using code Jericho. I might actually order it when we do it.
And we got to use the code Jericho.
Yeah, it's like 70% off.
Like we have to do it just for the fuck
it's
of it.
$200 of fucking meat for like $50. Like that's ridiculous.
I might have to go.
I don't have fucking room in my refrigerator. I would do it. Brittany might also kill me.
Well, you got to keep steak in a freezer, Phil, because if not,
that's what I mean. Freezer. That's what I meant. You know what I meant, bro. I don't cook, bro. I don't know what's going on. I buy McDonald's.
Oh, that sounds so okay.
Oh, I'm gonna go to McDonald's. I think after this, actually, and just get my dad bottle.
No, you're going to fucking Wawa.
So my original. Oh fuck Wawa. I hate that. My original bio on my personal Twitter, I changed it now. That says I'm a Bryce Harper. I love Bryce Harper's beard and Carson Wentz smile. It used to have a rad bod. Now I have a dad bod.
Can you go back to that? That's hilarious.
That's great, right? So yeah, what's next for you, Phil?
Nothing.
Who Phil got next?
So I'm still gonna podcast with MJ. We sat down and we talked about what we wanted to do, and we still both love podcasting. You know, we love being a team, and we wanted to do something different, right? I think when I first got into podcasting, I had Comically Nerdy, and it didn't work because of time and because just people weren't passionate about it as much as I was. So, and people moved, and it was just a bunch of craziness. And I got on Rant with Ant, right? But like wrestling, the limitations that wrestling gives you was just too much for me, right? The new show we're doing, and I've already announced this on Who Got Next. It's going to be called the Mighty CN Podcast, right?
Great
and
logo.
On this
great
show,
fucking logo, fantastic.
Yeah,
logo.
great logo made by whatever that company was called. I forgot what it was called on Twitter.
609 Designs.
Yeah, 609 Designs.
Omaha Steaks.
Yeah, Code Jericho. So on this show, we're gonna be talking about everything. It's gonna be like a variety podcast where some weeks, you know, we might talk about WrestleMania, but you know, we might talk about the Aladdin movie that just came out. We might talk about depression. I want to do something because everybody that knows me knows I'm very opinionated about fucking everything. So why don't I put that to good use?
Jesus Christ, phrasing.
What?
Holy shit! breaking news. Hold on. I think
Nick?
Meltzer just tweeted Phil has an opinion about everything.
No, he said he has an opinion about fucking everything.
Oh, well, the dirty mind, even on the last episode, and it came from the woman. So, we're gonna be talking about everything, and I'm very excited for it. We got a lot of cool ideas for the Patreon that I hope ends up working out. But I want to build a place kind of like we built here, an extension of what we built here, but for everything, right? I feel like if we can open up the world for wrestling fans to be themselves, let's do that for all fans of everything. Talk about everything. And it'll be like 2-3 topics. I would love to have Issa on one week. I'd love to have Ant on one week. And they talk about a topic they want to talk about. And like that's the type of stuff that I want to do. And that's the type of brand that I want to, with MJ being partners, build.
And I love that.
It.
And I love that. And I guess I'll give a little. I don't know. This isn't 100% confirmed. But seeing how things go with the baby, life comes at you fast. In January 2020, I might be back doing something. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I don't know what it's going to look like yet. It's not going to be. It's going to be more video. It's going to be more interactive. It's probably going to be live. I don't know. I have a bunch of ideas of what I want to do. It's going to be called the Rant, and it's going to be called a weekly podcast about everything. So where I would just literally take questions but that's an idea. It's not confirmed. I'm like 50-50 right now. If my kid comes and I say, fuck podcasting, I don't miss it, I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? But if I have the urge to do it, I might do it. So I might not be going away forever as I drop my phone. Jesus Christ. I could just, I don't know. It's an idea.
We need a break.
I need a long fucking break.
Yeah,
so
we
that's
need a
why
long
I said,
break.
Because what's going to happen is I'm probably not going to ever do this again. And maybe I'll just do fucking tours where I go on people's wrestling podcast and talk wrestling when I want to.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, not bad, right?
I don't know. I don't really even want to talk wrestling.
You don't want to talk about Jon Moxley's shorts? I want to talk about it.
I mean, I remember when he used to wrestle in trunks. So for everyone that was all shocked, I was like, oh, that's not that big a deal.
It's shocking to me.
Listen, I was there before everyone was there. I remember he used to wear trunks that said Mox on the front on the left side.
Listen, you're not a real fan because I remember when he used to wear bear suits.
Oh, I remember the bear suit story very well. He's fucking nutcase. I love that guy. I love that my favorite wrestler's back. I love that.
I love that
thing.
I could give an honest fuck about him in WWE. And this dude does a few things
shirts
on Twitter, and he shows up at Double or Nothing. He does that great interview. He shows up in New Japan, and now I want to fucking meet him. I'm a Mark, bro. I'm leaving this podcast. I started this podcast with Mark. I'm leaving this podcast with Mark.
So, it's weird because, like, I want a better ending than Game of Thrones. Now I know how hard endings are. Especially
at the end of the day, we're actually giving this podcast up to Brand the Broken because he has a better story than all of us.
Better than Broken Matt Hardy in WWE. I mean, fuck.
Ridiculous.
So, final messages to each other. I want to thank you guys for, if G-Rod was here too, for literally the best 4 years of my life. I've had so much fun, and I've done things I never thought I could accomplish. We've done things that we never thought we could accomplish, and we always stayed true to who we were. And I want to thank you guys for that because you never you never gassed me up, and I never had an ego about stuff. And that was because you guys always kept me in check. So thank you for that because it's hard when you're winning awards and stuff like that not to think that you're the hottest shit, and I never did because you guys always kept me in check and brought me down to earth and told me this is the way to look at things, and I really appreciate that. I appreciate your friendship. I mean, Phil, like, you're a brother to me. Issa's like a sister to me. Like, I know I tell you guys everything. There's stuff on here we've never talked about, but we all know about each other, and I think that's what is most important going forward is that we keep this bond. This bond is still family. And I think that's my biggest fear. My biggest fear was never losing the show. My biggest fear was losing you guys. And I think that that's why I kept it going for so long. And that's why, even when I was exhausted, I had to get to the gala just so I can hang out with you guys and be with you guys. Because honestly, this has been my escape, and it had nothing to do with wrestling this whole time. The escape was the people I met through this. So I love you guys to death. I swear to God, I'll do anything for you guys. Thank you so much. Phil, what is your last message for listeners, for us, for everyone?
Well, for the listeners, for people who listen to both shows, thank you guys for supporting everything that we have done. And for Nick and MJ, thank you guys for being awesome with Who Got Next. MJ, thank you for coming with me along this ride for everything we have next. And for you two, for G-Rod, thank you for being so cool with, letting me join Rant with Ant the same way you did, Ant, and fucking, being awesome. Like, the first time I ever met G-Rod was face-to-face in Orlando, and we shared a hotel room together. Like, I was so nervous on that trip. Like, I've never done anything like that before. Just randomly get on a fucking plane and go hang out with people that I only knew on the internet. And if my boy Ray was listening, he would laugh because I used to make fun of him when we were growing up, because I'd be like, how the fuck are you friends with people on the internet that you've never met in person? I'm only friends with the people I see in person. And how wrong was I? Which everybody would love that, because I'm always wrong about everything. So it's one of those things where, like, it's crazy to me to think that, 2 years later, look at all these friends that I made that are from the internet. They're going to be coming to my wedding and stuff like that. It's nuts. They're going to be in my wedding. So
I think that would be the next Rant with Ant podcast, guys.
Yeah, at the wedding, Brittany would kill us. So, and then for you guys, like, obviously, Ant, thank you, right? Without you, none of this world is possible for me. Like, you, for some reason, fucking let me join the show and believed in me.
Like, we're the same person. It's weird.
Yeah, we are. It's weird. Even grew up the same way. Sitting talking with your mom, and, like, I did that too. Like, that's weird. And then Issa, of course, like, you're like my protector, right? And I remember something Issa told us one day, and it was like, she's like our sister. So, like, she can smack us in the back of the head, but nobody else can do that. And I've always been very appreciative. Issa's one of the coolest people I've ever met. So down to earth, so awesome. And it's just cool to know that we're all friends forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's awesome to me.
Issa.
Yeah. Nothing. I just want to say thank you for bringing me on. Like, I know it was
thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Trusting
us enough to come on.
It was
we were nervous asking you.
I know, it was actually sweet. I remember too, we were at McMahon's and Ant was not drunk until after I said yes. Then he got
drunk. Yes. I got the yes first and I got fucked up.
But no, I just, like, it was a big deal for me, and I just wanted to make sure that that I fit in, and everything just felt so smooth, which goes to show why we're going to just be, like I said earlier, stuck together forever. Yeah, I know that I'm kind of like a bitch, and you guys just love me just the way I am, and I'm always gonna appreciate that. That's it.
Well, you're not my bitch because you whoop my ass, but you're like
you are.
You know what I mean? I'm tough, and you guys always you actually cracked me a couple of times and saw a softer side of me. So there you go.
Yeah, after the gala,
I will take that to my grave.
The most compassionate thing, the most compassionate person ever was Issa. After the gala to me, I've never seen someone like.
And I still cursed you out. I was like, I told you this shit will work.
Yeah, you're like, fuck you. I told you this shit would work, and you gave me the biggest hug, and then you said a bunch of words that meant a lot that no one needs to really know about, because you weren't there, you don't get to experience it. But it's just 4 years ago, I started this in my garage with no equipment, crappy microphone. Glenn G-Rod Rodriguez, I love you so much, brother. Like, you brought me onto a show called The Wrestle Addict. And The Wrestle Addict got me in the game of podcasting. It showed me passion. It showed me what it was like to love something so much that you couldn't stop thinking about it. And from that grew Rant with Ant. And then we get signed to NAI Network, and we do that. And then we accomplish a bunch of great things. And then we go out on our own. And that's when I feel like I came into my own. I became my own host. I became, so much more self-sufficient. I learned how to do things. I now have a studio with tons of figures that, I have my own little Zen area. I have the best friends you could ask for. I've been to 3 WrestleManias in a row. I've been to All In. I've been to multiple autograph signings with friends. the show's created so many great memories for me that it's hard saying goodbye to it. But what I'm saying goodbye to it for is going to create a lot more memories for me, and that's family, and that's these two being my best friends going forward. And it's more important than pro wrestling. It's more important than the graps or whatever the fuck you want to call it. This is real life. Like this is what, this is what I came in for. I didn't come in for money. I didn't come in for fame. I didn't want to be known. I don't want to be an influencer. I don't want to be, you know, I just wanted to be Anthony. And I'm leaving the same way I came in. I didn't let anything change me. It could have changed me, but I didn't allow it to, and you guys didn't allow it. This has been the best 4 years of my life. The messages that I got and the messages that we received that you hear at the beginning of the show mean more than anything I've ever heard in my life. If we influenced you in any way, battling depression or anxiety or just, being that pick me up on your weekend or fucking being your hype, let's get this party started for your weekend. Thank you for letting us in your lives, because that to me is amazing that so many people would allow my voice to go through their speakers, my annoying voice that I can't stand, go through their speakers and let me become part of their family as they became part of mine. So, with that being said, I love you guys forever. I love you 3,000. Thank you.
Stop.
Thank you both for honestly everything. You are literally the best friends, the best team, the best co-host, and it's fine. You know what? We were the best trio in our only year together. We were the best wrestling podcast in our only year together.
Yep.
We were the most informative. We were the best review. I guess we're just the excellence of execution. We are the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Thank you for 4 years, and thank you so much for keeping wrestling real.
Kawaii, so kawaii.
Adios.
I got through.